We're live in Lancaster. Michael Warwick, WBTV, on your side.
Well, that was a close one you saw in the background there. Fortunately, no one crashed near our crew and Michael Warwick there. But a deadly crash has shocked a quiet Lancaster County neighborhood at that very same intersection.
People in Lancaster County call it one of the county's most dangerous intersections.
And now, after 2 men died in a rollover crash Wednesday, workers are trying to make that intersection safer.
Michael Warwick is on your side asking state transportation leaders what's being done. He's live at Highway 5 and West Rebound Road. So, Michael, that looked like a pretty scary moment. What have you been seeing out there this evening?
I tell you, it's one of a near miss that happens almost every hour standing out here that just makes you clench your teeth and watch, and oftentimes you can kind of start to see it develop. Now here at rush hour, you see a car here on your right, how difficult it is and how much time it takes for them to pull out and try and pick up speed onto the highway. Between a combination of blind spots and speed, people nearby say it's a recipe for more and more tragedies. As cars zip along Highway 5 between Rock Hill and Lancaster, Mike Waterbury takes photographs in hopes his suggestions will make it safer.
I'd love to see some changes. I hate to see anybody get hurt. The road is traveled by a lot of people. 2
men died Wednesday in a rollover crash in this intersection with West Rebound Road. State troopers say 4 others were hurt. Mike is a firefighter who lives just a few doors down. He responded to that crash in what he estimates is at least one a month in the same spot.
And every time I see an accident, whether I'm here or if I'm out of town, first thing I do is check to see where my family is because I want to make sure we're not alone. So it's important for me, but also important for the community.
2 days after that crash, and SCDOT is already making changes to better alert drivers of what's up ahead. Just today, they installed these flashing lights on top of a sign warning drivers that they're approaching a 4-way intersection. We drove this stretch ourselves. You can see as we crest the hill headed west on Highway 5, there's little time to recognize someone is pulling out in front of you. Mike's seen enough to the point he wants to see street lights.
I think there needs to be a light put in. I know there's a proposal and funding that was put in place for a light, so I'd like to see that put in place as soon as possible. So hopefully we can slow down some of the traffic there.
According to the State Department of Transportation's improvement plan, this intersection has been identified as one that is due for improvements, but it's unclear right now if those improvements will include streetlights and when that could actually take place. We've reached out to the State Department of Transportation and are waiting to hear back. We're live in Lancaster. Michael Warwick, WBTV, on your side.
All right, thanks, Michael. And